Currently in Season 5, there are 21 guns rocking the Apex games, all with their different purposes and spots in the Apex Legends weapons tier list. Instead of doing all of these based on my opinion though, I've decided to do some research about what other people have to say about their opinion when ranking these guns. So what I'm about to show you is a mix of my opinion and others to create an accurate version of a weapons tier list. Really, without guns, I don't really know what this battle royale experience would end up being like. So without further ado, let's get straight on into the video.
Right to mash some buttons. Ready? Oh, it's Apex time.
Ah!
D tier. These are the worst guns in all of the Outlands. Barely anyone uses these. Topping off the D tier is the Mozambique. Also named as the worst shotgun in the game, the Mozambique is a low damage, triple barreled shotgun with the ammo capacity of 3 shells. It's literally a recipe for disaster. But of course, I'm not completely hating on this gun as it's pretty destructive with hammer points. But most of the time you have a Mozambique is without a hammer point, so pretty much it's useless. Respawn, please fix this gun. And I've seen some clips, and I guess the Mozambique is apparently a sniper now. The next gun rocking the D tier is the P2020. Oh, the best pistol in the game. Actually, in all seriousness, this gun can be a total beast when hammer points are applied. But without this hop-up, this gun is as good as garbage. With the maximum of 13 damages per shot and 93 damage per second, this gun is as bad as the Mozambique. Just ask Loba. Next tier after the D tier is the C tier. These guns are okay, but really hard to be using during endgame. First gun in the C tier is the Sentinel. Being released in Season 4, as well with sniper ammo, the Sentinel can be a satisfactory gun when cracking enemy shields, and it can be pretty deadly when headshots are hit. But besides that, the low firing rate can give this gun some limitations, and the fact that it takes up all your heals can be pretty hard when fighting during endgame. Well, at least it's better than shield batteries, I guess. After the Sentinel is the All-Star. Being released as a care package gun in Apex Legends, this gun used to create massacres as people said that this gun surpassed the R99. But I guess those days are over as the Devo took all the glory in Season 4. Now, the All-Star has an ammo capacity of 40 and all shots go all over the place, which makes this gun really bad for far range. But besides all the hitting, this gun isn't all that bad at close range, so don't be afraid to pick this gun up in Hot Drop. Next after the All-Star is Lombo. With the devastating range, the Lombo is one of the most favorite sniper in all of Apex. Although it does a pretty standard damage of 55, if you don't know how to properly use this gun, it does okay in most battles. Try to get better at hitting your shots. Knowing how to properly snipe can be a devastating situation for your enemies. Next after the Lombo is the Spitfire. Although this gun dominates during Titanfall, it can be a really overrated gun. I mean, this gun's okay, the ammo capacity at 35, and it can be clutch for players who understand the term spray and pray. But this gun's an LMG that I don't really use towards endgame. The low firing rate and the low amount of damage holds back the Spitfire from being the best that it can be. So if Respawn ever decides to give this gun a buff, I would increase the slow fire rate or increase the damage that it does. Next is the Charge Rifle. After being released in Season 3 as the new weapon, this gun can farm damage and can be a reliable weapon when fighting your enemies in close quarters. It can doubtlessly crack your enemy shields too. It used to be a great gun as you used to be able to have an extended amount of ammo, but now it's nerfed with the ammo capacity of 4 shots. It can be very limiting as it also has a long reload time to add onto it. So Respawn, please increase the ammo capacity or give it back the ability to have an extended mag. After the C tier is the B tier. These guns aren't the worst, and they can also have a chance to be used further into the game. First one in the B tier is the Alternator. This gun is a great starter weapon when you just land from the dropship. It has an acceptable fire rate and a decent ammo capacity. This gun can be reliable when facing enemies with either a level 1 or level 2 body shield. But other than that, I'll give an Alternator a buff and give it a little bit more damage. I mean, 16 damage is okay, but I would give it more. The R99 is 79% faster and it does 12 damage, so giving the Alternator more damage each shot would really give it a chance to shine. The RE45. The RE45 is actually a great pistol. In the release of Season 2, the hop-up Disruptor rounds gave the RE45 a chance to rip through shields. But after Season 2, I guess Respawn decided to call it quits and remove the hop-up altogether. But with a high fire rate, this gun can be reliable compared to most of the pistols in this game. I would put this gun in a higher tier if they increase the ammo capacity or the damage.
Now tell me my booty's thicker than Loba's! Woo! Woo!
After the RE45 is the Havoc. With the big release in Season 1, the Havoc rifle used to be a respected gun, as an ammo capacity of 32 and a body shot damage of 18. But after countless nerfs while Respawn up to the recoil, the Havoc really took a big loss as the ammo capacity went down to 21. Now, this gun's mostly avoided and barely used in addition to the 1 second charge up. Oh, ripping the tap for turbochargers. But it really does a serious amount of damage on a player close range. I would fix the recoil. I want at least a better experience when using this gun for further range. Next after the Havoc is the Mastiff. The Mastiff is a real killer when fighting your enemies in close range. When used correctly, this gun can send your enemies back to the lobby. But for further range, it does really low damage, and its low firing rate without a shotgun bolt can be a real nail biter when clutching fights. But I believe that this gun is fine with how it is. Next is the Triple Take. Compared to the other snipers in Apex, the Triple Take is easily the best sniper in the game. With the wide spread and the chance to have more of a narrow shot using the precision choke, this gun can be good at both far range and close range. So don't be afraid to pick this gun up during fights. Next tier is the A tier. These guns are really good and can definitely be used during endgame. First gun to top off the A tier is the Flatline. Now, this gun is fatal and it's a really good gun. I would say it's probably the best heavy AR in the game so far. With the release of Season 3, the hop-up Anvil receiver really gave the Flatline a chance to take more fights far range. I would say that the only thing the Flatline needs is a better recoil, because sometimes your accuracy for far range can be messed up. Overall, this gun brings a high amount of damage per shot and deserves to be in the spot of A tier. Next after the Flatline is the Hemlock. The Hemlock is a burst heavy AR and can do a high amount of damage. This gun can be relied on, and it has a single fire mode for fighting enemies far range. I would rank this gun's second best heavy AR in the game because of the fact that it is burst. Having to depend on the gun while it's on burst can be slightly hard, but overall this gun is a great one, and you should go straight for one if you have the chance. EVA 8. The EVA 8 shotgun is one of the best shotguns in the game, not including PKs obviously. It has the ability to do a high amount of damage, and the firing rate is very high even without a shotgun bolt. The ability to use double tap on this gun is a win-win for everyone, as it can come in clutch when fighting your enemies close range. Last but not least is the Prowler. The Prowler is the second best SMG in this game, and it does really well when select fire is applied. Even without select fire, the Prowler can shred enemies on burst, and it does best in close range. But with select fire applied, this gun is a complete beast in close range, and even mid-range in addition to the steady barrel that this gun has. This gun is always my favorites and is a definite go-to when I always spot one. S tier. These guns are the best guns in the game. Try to at least have one of these during game. First one in the S tier is the G7 Scout. The G7 Scout is the best single fire AR/sniper in this game. The amount of damage that it deals and its firing rate can put enemies to the ground. It is extremely accurate and deserves its proper place in S tier. Next is the R301. I would say that the R3 is the best AR in Apex right now. The really good firing rate and the steady barrel can cause this gun to be deadly during battles. This gun performs awesome with far range battles and can be a great gun in close quarters too. This gun is perfect in S tier. After the R3 is the R9. This is by far one of the best guns in this game. Its accuracy, firing rate, and ammo capacity really puts this gun in its rightful spot. This gun has always been the best, and Respawn will probably keep it that way. Although it's an SMG, this weapon can fight battles in all different ranges no matter what. So please try to pick up this gun when you have the chance. It will give you a great advantage while fighting endgame. Now this gun is by far the best, and will forever be the best, with and without a top-up. Better than the R9, you say? Definitely. Also named as the prized possession of a TTV, the Wingman can do everything when it comes to anything. Far range battles? Check. Mid-range? Check. And even close range? Definitely. The perfect firing rate and the amount of damage and the balanced ammo capacity really tops everything off. So try to get this gun when you see one. It's worth it. So that's all the guns I have in store for you guys so far in Season 5. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. So, what's your opinion? Do you agree? Do you disagree? make sure to leave them in the comment section down below for me to check out. Thanks for being awesome, guys. I'll see you in the next video.